Azzazy Talks.
How can you see the future of L&D? How can you see us as an L&D professional?
Right. So I think that I have an optimistic view and a pessimistic view. Mohammed,
Okay.
which one would you like first?
Let's go with the optimistic.
Okay. The
I hope.
optimistic view is that we grab hold of the data opportunity right in front of us as a profession.
Yes, exactly.
That we burst out of the limitations of trying to influence 12 people at a time in a class, or trying to bribe people into LMSs. We bin the LMS. We stop looking for problems to solve with the technologies that we've saddled ourselves with for 5 years.
Yes.
What we do instead is that we seek to understand what is really going on in our organizations with data. We seek evidence from the people actually experiencing it. We seek to enhance the experiences that they currently have, which are largely about fumbling along, making mistakes themselves, and inefficiently solving the same problems that their colleagues have solved hundreds, if not thousands of times across the organization. And we guide and support people using largely digital solutions that are intrinsically linked to the work and the context in which they perform. And we are then seen as heroes, as we've linked the data to performance, and we've been responsible for that uptick. We have risen above the limited expectations that are projected upon us and that we've had upon ourselves. Yes. And we become critical because we have the right conversations. We back that up. Our measures of success are efficacy and our desire to our achievement of the desired outcomes. And we build upon that solid base. Nice. There are so many strings to our bow that instead of being facilitators, teachers, and trainers, we are true facilitators within an organization, connecting those who know and are successful, and building bridges and paths for those less experienced coming through, so that everyone benefits. And organizations literally are people standing on the shoulders of the giants and the most experienced people in their organizations. Now, would you like the pessimistic view?
Okay.
Somebody else will do this while we are hiding in classrooms and trying to bribe people to the LMS. We'll be looking in the opposite direction, and the rug will be pulled from under our feet. That whether it's inside our organizations and the finance and the marketing teams come together and say, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm sure we could do this better. Or there's going to be a smart technology company from outside who eradicates the administration and the inefficiencies of learning and development, and then provide organizations with technology or a suite of technologies that don't need the administration or the coordination that learning and development find a lot of solace in. And then the profession will be disrupted from the outside. Now, at this time, I think it's more likely that the profession will be disrupted from the outside, and a profession that is much more comfortable in the delivery of content, delivery of programs, and the provision of generic content will miss the boat. So that's what I think. But either way, I think that it will be a far more positive and beneficial experience for workers and organizations.
You can see that it's not about us, it's how can we show others how we work, or the benefits or the ROI of our work, or of our efficiency of delivering these ideas. Is that correct?
I think it's less about us, Mohammed. I think that where we are so where we are really left wanting in learning and development is our understanding of user centricity. And I think that this is the absolute key to it, that this isn't about us, our programs, our content, and our platforms. Exactly. This is about one individual at a time. If we are expecting one individual or a group of individuals to change, adapt, and improve, we've got to look at everything from their perspective. At the moment, what we do is we are topic centric and we are system centric. So we're topic centric because what we do is we isolate the skills and capabilities that an organization requires: presentation skills, communication skills, time management.
Data.
We remove them completely from the context in which people are expected to perform. They're given a one and done or isolated and completely sanitized experience that doesn't reflect what goes on in real life. And at the end of a program, we tell them to go and transfer that content, which has nothing to do with their work, back to the workplace. I think that our inability to see this from the user's perspective is one of the great reasons why the learning and development offerings are so ineffective. But if you flip this around, but it's also, and the clues are everywhere. This is why so many technology companies today are effective, because they value user centricity. So what is it that people are trying to do? What are these bottlenecks in your organization? What is it that your people are trying to do and not able to do efficiently in the context of their work, that they're fumbling along and finding their own way well before they come along to a training program? The great example, I think, is new managers. So a manager is promoted, and there's a big hurrah in their team, and of course they're incredibly proud. And then they're left to it. They're left to find out what that role is, what's expected of them, how to deal with the team, how to transition from being a core contributor to a new manager, how to get rid of the work or not to get rid of the work because they've taken too much on themselves, how not to micromanage, how to now influence at a different level, how to deal with the exposure that comes with being in a management position rather than being sheltered by a manager, all of this stuff. But it doesn't matter, Mohammed, because they can go on a course in 9 months. Mohammed, they've sorted it all out in 9 months, and then learning and development try to speak to them like they're programming somebody from scratch. Like, oh no, forget all of that. Forget everything that you've done before for the last 9 months. We're reprogramming you because you didn't know anything before. What they don't realize is learning and development, as transformative as that program may seem to them, because they're going to be delivering it 3 times a year for the rest of for 5 years. So of course it's going to transform the learning and development team. But one person's going to sit through 3 days. They're going to get a load of ideas. They're going to talk to a lot of peers. And when they go back, the context in which they operate hasn't changed. And so they flex back immediately. There's no support system around them. What we've got to realize is that user centricity means that as somebody transitions into that role, what is it that they are experiencing? And how can we guide and support them in the context of that so they do more of the right things in order to get the right results the first time round as they face these unfamiliar situations and challenges for the very first time? That is a huge opportunity. And if anybody's listening and thinking that's a future I want to be a part of, I'll tell you right now, that is happening in some of the smartest organizations around right now. They're not only, and all it takes is that flip from topic centricity to user centricity. Once you've seen it in action and you understand what people are trying to experience, you can't turn that light off. That light is on, and whether you choose to do something about it or not, that is the experience. But we need to be building on the experience that people are having and not creating these sanitized and isolated experiences that are far too late to really influence, or in the case of induction, that are far too early to truly influence what people are trying to do, and stop trying to project content and know-how onto people and start helping them in the context in which they need to be helped.
Azzazy Talks.